Sir, welcome to Him Talks.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on Him Talks, and I'm sure that this channel is doing really good job in terms of disseminating the new age content related to the CA profession, which is the need of the hour.
Sir, first of all, thank you for the scintillating session over there, and you had a 100% positive feedback, which I understood. So, what was your viewpoint before coming to this session? What was you trying to convey to the audience?
So I think I have this management background where most of my colleagues are cutting their teeth in marketing. And when I tell them that a chartered accountant, especially a first generation chartered accountant who is set up a firm looking for clients, but everything goes through generation linkages and referrals, where does he get his new business? And when I tell my friends that we CAs cannot solicit business, they find this is an archaic law. I wanted something within the regulations. What are the dynamic things that one can do, which I have mentored my wife Sonia Singal in her CA job portal Endeavor, something which I have done in my YouTube channel. I wanted the same thing to be used at large by practicing chartered accountants in Hyderabad. So that was my entire objective of flying down from Kolkata for this very conference.
So, you have raised a very important, interesting point. We have some invisible glass ceilings because technically we are far more qualified than the management graduates because we spent 5 to 6 years in finance, but they somehow seem to overtake us in our professional roles. So what's your say on that, sir?
So I think one important dimension here which I have realized, because earlier for example, I had worked as a chartered accountant for 5 years. I myself had that grudge against MBAs that we know so much and these people are more flashy and hence they get the job. But what happens here is that one, we don't do marketing, and today's world is all about marketing yourself, whether it is B2B or B2C, something which MBA teaches you. The other thing is that before my MBA was more that NPV IRR guy who was good at Excel spreadsheets, would notch up all the costs, but was not able to look at the larger picture, solving cross-functional problems. So that is something I think MBA actually teaches you, especially through that case study pedagogy, which I really aspire that one day the Chartered Accountant Institute also brings in, focusing instead of rote learning into more problem solving case study thing. And of course, yes, there's a lot, the branding which happens at the B school level and the placement committees, the student driven activities, and it's a legacy. A lot of management trainee programs come to B schools, which unfortunately do not come to chartered accountants. Chartered accountants at large, because of our job portal linkages also, we know that most people view them as that guy who can crunch numbers, as an MIS analyst, as an accountant who can do closing, but will not be able to solve the larger multidimensional problems.
Sir, talking about a young professional who has just cleared his CA, so if he is at the crossroads of moving into the fintech space, like he wants to get his hands onto blockchain, or if he is reasonably interested in getting a B school degree from ISB or IIM, so what would be a suggestion if somebody is at the crossroads?
So I think a CA plus MBA is today's India's most powerful education degree for a commerce graduate, and that has been vindicated by even people at the director level at IIMs. Primarily because as a chartered accountant, you're fundamentally very, very strong in whatever you do, and with the MBA you get that polish. So the moment you clear as a CA, a pair for CAT, if you clear it well and good, otherwise with a couple of years of work ex, you're going to get all the more good. You've got more talking points for your interview. So CA plus MBA I think is the way forward that you should do.
So now specifically talking about profession 2.0, what exactly a young professional should be keeping in mind if he wants to catch up with the changing digital technologies?
So I think it's very aptly summed up in the ABCD of technology today with blockchain and crypto and digital. People who think that doing manual reconciliations and doing their age-old ways of doing things and will not keep up with the times, I think their cost competitiveness will go away, because someone who runs an RPA, runs an algorithm, as was taught in this conference, someone from Wipro was saying that today their algos are searching for patterns, then that one, you will become more costly, and then secondly, you're going to become less efficient if technology is not on your side. So it's high time that even if you are your 40s or 50s, you learn something about technology. I am not advocating that you learn coding per se, but understand the implication so that as a business consultant, you can make your tech guy do that work for you.
Sir, how did management degree, or apart from the career progression, in your thought process or your ideological framework, how did management help as a layer to your financial degree?
So I think the final thing here was that you've got a lot of standard jargon in terms of networking and classroom discussions, case study pedagogy and alumni effect. But then the larger thing is that once you've done your MBA, you stop seeing yourself as a subject matter expert of a particular thing. Whether you don't work in operational silos, but you want to attack the larger business problem. So you think more like a CEO, and that is, I think, very important today. You really cannot be an accountant or a financial planning analyst or a tax guy. You need to see the understanding your work will have on the larger top line and bottom line of the business. So that is, I think, something which was my largest takeaway from an MBA. I could market my startup ideas. So I learned basically the whole, cut my teeth in marketing there.
So you're talking about the CEO mindset, which is the most important takeaway.
Absolutely. Otherwise, kind of doing closing month on month, filing TDS returns, I think that technology anyway is going to take away. Then where are you adding value? As a strategist, you need to think. And that is something which an MBA over a period of 1 year, they teach you around 400 case studies, where you actually learn to apply your mind to solve business problems. So that is something which I really think will be worthwhile.
So the final question, sir. You have attended many conferences so far. So how is this conference different? Do you see any significant change in the way it is being operated?
So it was fascinating. I think this has been my first experience interacting with the Hyderabad audience. Completely enraptured by the keen interest people take in listening to professional content, and I think each of the speakers was mind-blowing, whether it was something, and I'll tell you honestly, for example, a session on ethics related to technology, I thought that would have been a dull and a drab topic, but then the way the speaker took us and our attention away, that was mind-blowing. I think each session really added a lot of value, and when I'm flying back home, I'm really carrying myself with a lot more knowledge.
So we are glad to hear that, sir, and thank you very much for your valuable
Thank
inputs.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.